May I go?
Yep.
Okay, so my opponent just listed the three claims of taboo, adult rights / maturity, and, well, I guess that's pretty much it. I didn't hear a third claim from them. So the taboo, the one thing that they addressed with the taboo is that high schoolers that drink at home with their parents can do it in moderation. However, that is not true because, as my partner stated, high schoolers that drink at home with their parents did not prove more likely to not binge drink in college. Lowering drinking age to 18 would make it, in fact, lowering drinking age to 18 would make it even easier for younger kids to get and consume alcohol younger than 18, mainly 15 to 17. If high school seniors could legally patronize a liquor store, sophomores would find it much easier to get party fuel. Raising the drinking age to 21 reduced alcohol-related traffic fatalities not only among 18-year-olds who lost the right to drink, but 16-year-olds who never had it in the first place. That brings me to my next point, which is that alcohol increases the number of fatalities of automobile fatalities and crashes. Alcohol use in persons under 21 causes an increase in fatal traffic accidents. A Michigan study found that police reports of quote-unquote had been drinking, which is like a line that they have to put on in when they're giving their report. Crashes increased 35%, while the incidence of nighttime single vehicle crashes among young men increased 17% after the state reduced drinking age from 21 to 18. Roadside surveys showed that the proportion of 16 to 20-year-old drivers with blood alcohol concentrations over 0.5 more than doubled. That's interesting because 16 to 17-year-olds didn't even have the right to drink in the first place. My opponent listed the fatalities. My opponent said that there was no justification between the idea of being in the military and not being able to drink. However, the claim that people don't want to kill kids was not only convoluted but had no backing and evidence behind it. The brain is more mature. Okay, so alcohol impairs development in the adolescent brain, and as we said before, the threshold for adulthood is not a defined threshold. Although many rights do come at the age of 18, many other rights come at the age of 21. However, the brain is not fully neurologically developed until the age of 25. So concerning long-term effects in the experimental rat lab evidence indicates that repeated exposure to alcohol during adolescence leads to long-lasting deficits in cognitive abilities, including learning and memory. Another study shows that drinking in college before the age of 21 impairs development in the brain. Stephen Wallace says, quote-unquote, binge drinking during college may be associated with mental health disorders such as compulsiveness, depression, or anxiety, or early deviant behavior. That brings me to my next point, which is that vandalism increased 25. Vandalism in teens aged 18 to 20 increased 25% when the legal alcohol consumption age was lowered from 21 to 18. Not only do traffic fatalities caused by alcohol, traffic accidents and fatalities caused by alcohol consumption cause the death of young teens and other at-risk people, which includes anybody on the road, which includes pedestrians, cars, a family of 4 that is just coming home from dinner and gets in a car crash with somebody that's been drinking. So over 40% of all the 16 to 20-year-olds who died in 1994, which is after the FUDAA law was passed, that the drinking age was raised again nationwide from 18 to 21. So that's in 1994. Over 40% of all the 16 to 20-year-olds were killed who died in car crashes. Half of them were alcohol-related. So keeping the drinking age at 21 saves lives by decreasing alcohol-related fatalities. Buddy Teed, author of the lower drinking age debate, says, quote unquote, the number of intoxicated youth drivers in fatal crashes dropped 14.3% from 1983 to 1994, which is again after the time that the FUDAA was passed. This is the largest decrease of any age group during this time period, indicating that the higher legal drinking age simply saves lives. Again, the idea that fatalities occur when the drinking age is lowered from 21 to 18 does not stop only at traffic accidents, but the CSPI fact sheet, which is the Center for Science in the Public Interest fact sheet, published in 1998 that alcohol use in teens increases the risk of attempted and completed suicide. Between 1979 and 1984, the suicide rate was 9.7% greater among adolescents and young adults who could legally consume alcohol than among their peers who could not. That brings me to my another point. Two more points that were left unaddressed were that just because many people grew up when the drinking age was 18 does not mean it is okay for our country today. One of the reasons the minimum legal drinking age was moved from 18 to 21 is because states that lowered their drinking ages experienced increase in youth fatalities, like I stated before. My opponent stated that my opponent stated was refuting our unstated claim, meaning like we never said anything about this, that we said 18-year-olds drink, 18-year-olds get stress or troubles in life because of the drinking that they do. Wait, let me back up. We never talked about how drinking alcohol increases stress and troubles in 18-year-olds, although my